Second only to Imric, Malus Darkblade is my favourite lord in the entire game, and it's good because when he first came out he was pretty damn hard to use and very underpowered. However, he got buffed to the moon, and I still don't think he's as strong as Malekith, but he's pretty good. Now when you understand how confederations work, there's a clearly abusable exploit here with the Hag Rape faction mechanic. Shout out to Mercy the Mad though, who popularised the fact that this can be done turn 2. Now normally I try to avoid exploits, but we're about to walk into Warhammer 3 where they've really overhauled the diplomacy system, and even with this exploit it would not be possible to do. So given that my boy was once the worst Dark Elf Lord, has come to become quite prominent, Warhammer 3 without this, he could go back down there. Normally I'm all about being honourable, but just in case it's all down here for Malus, we're going to just go all out here and show a straight up 2-turn Confederation with Malekith, but more importantly, one thing I swear by is I don't just give you a gimmick confederation, I will show you how to make it work and how to give yourself a really strong start in the game. Here's what we've got here without even trying. We've got ourselves 3 complete territories, including the Iron Mountains, the Black Flood, so both the capitals of Malus Darkblade as well as Malekith himself. We've got ourselves a complete Dragon Isle and an extra port here for good measure, and along with Malus we've confederated Malekith as well as Crone Hellebron, and this is very damn easy to do. It can be done well before turn 20, but I've done this to show that we can have a positive income, a ton of slaves, and we can be rocking a very easy campaign going forward. So here we are, the start of a brand new legendary campaign. Now I have re-rolled for Underdog on Clark Rond because it will make it a bit easier to do, but you don't need to do that. In the previous example that I showed, we did not have that, and it will still go great. So the opening moves diplomatically go as follows. So first of all, look at Hageneth. She will almost certainly be positive, which means signing a non-aggression pact with her will endear us towards Malekith. So we're trying to build up these bonuses so over the end turn we build more relations. How else can we do this? Well, let's join Malekith's war with Clan Septic. So those are your first 2 moves. But there's one more thing you can do. I do not know why, but in my testing, Malekith freaking hates these guys. Declare war on them. First turn. They're very passive. You will not get bitten in the ass by doing this, but it will give you a little bit more favor. With Malekith, it's another war that you get drawn into. Now, last thing to do in Nagarond is when you do get this building back, it only has 2 slots. We want to keep them on because we need the money. We don't need shades. We can't afford them. So scrap this building. So this is the only one left. It'll help you out. Now, the key quote-unquote exploit for this revolves around the fact that when an army is besieging a settlement, they seem to go in a state of limbo. So when we basically sell Hag Rafe, we will still manage to keep this army holding on to the settlement as long as they are besieging it at that time. You're meant to give the army back. This lets you keep it and gives us more balance of power to help us confederate Malekith. So just moving towards the edge there. Don't declare war yet. We'll do that next turn. One thing I do recommend is I do not like Beastmasters. I think that they're very bad, and they're only good in the late game when you've actually got some beasts to put them with. Get yourself a Fire Mage. Either will do. And this way the experience we get on them will get them up to level 3, which means they get Burning Head. Great for dealing with revolts. You want as many level 3 fire mages as you can get to help deal with the civil strife of the slave economy. Now going down to Malus Darkblade himself. First, join the master to his army. Now first, blockade with your Black Ark. So attack the settlement, choose to blockade, and now he will come in to reinforce Malus Darkblade, and then just start the fights. Now you can auto-resolve this, but it'll give you a Pyrrhic victory. This will whittle down your balance of power, meaning you will need to spend more to confederate Malekith on turn 2. If there's one you can skip, it is this one, and it's not easy, but let's get into it. And here we are on the battlefield. Before you fight this one out, just remember there's a small chance that Malekith won't confederate with you, right? So you might just want to auto-resolve this one, but if you're going balls to the wall and want everything to be as best as possible, you are better off doing this. It will give you more money. So start off with Malus Darkblade, the master up front, and then you want spears, swords, spears with your 2 dark shards hotkeys at the back. Your reinforcements will come here, which is why we've gone this side. Put 1 lot of Black Ark Corsairs on your right flank and bring the others up to the left hand front side. So this is the important part. Now bring your Admiral up here as well to guard the front line. This has some pretty good anti-large ammo in it, so there we are. And then back slightly, and the idea is we want to clump these guys around for our bombardment spells to do maximum effect. Alright, so the good thing is the Bastiladon is staying out of it for as long as we can get it to. Now that they're engaged, countercharge the spears. When you're ready and you've got a good opportunity to do some area of effect, go to Zarkan and blast them away. We still scored a Pyrrhic victory. We could have got a bit more, but well, we'll take that. We'll accept that for what it is. Either way, we've managed to preserve our Dark Shards, meaning all the subsequent battles should be very, very easy. So we'll accept that as it is and sack the settlements. Now, if you can get a close victory there, that's even better, but we're mainly after keeping our numbers high, mainly the Dark Shards, because they're what will do the damage for us. So make sure you sack, you don't take the settlements. Now, here's an extra trick to guarantee a bit more balance of power. Move your Black Arc slightly away and put it in Dreaded Expansion, and this will heal whatever is in Malus's army. So what we're doing is we're going to put Malus in the water, go to our Black Arc, and we're going to pass the Black Arc Corsairs, pass them into Malus Darkblade's army. It will cost you a couple hundred, but it will give you a little bit more balance of power when you go back into Dreaded Expansion, giving you a few more troops, and trust me, they all make a bit of a difference. For research, always continuous slave supply. Just a quick reminder guys, if you are enjoying the video, please consider liking and subscribing, it really helps out. Ask any question in the comments, I answer everything. And if you'd like to talk strategy, feel free to join the Discord. Cheers. Turn 2, if you get a dilemma with the sorceress you just hired, do whatever will not affect your public order or affect your army level. So in this case, we'll take the risk and lose 1 loyalty. Now, so the first and most important thing you need to do is go back to your other army over in Hagrave, declare war, dragging Malekith into the battle, and then just besiege it. So, encircle, don't attack. This is what will allow you to keep this army. When you trade Hagrave, you normally lose this army. This keeps them in limbo. So yes, this is an exploit, but this is might be the last chance Malus has a really good run in Total War Warhammer, so we're going to give him the send-off he deserves. There we go, another easy victory, and with this we want to loot and occupy to give us the maximum amount of gold we can get. So here comes the crux of the run. We'll be offered to sell Hagrave for 20,000 gold, which we do need to achieve this. Now, we can drink these potions. Now, by bringing our possession not just down to 0, we drink a second one to get to -10, and at this point we unlock Rite of the Warmaster. Use this to get yourself an instant doom stack. What you get here is RNG. The monsters you get will also influence how powerful your balance of power is. Fighting your battles manually will help a little bit, but we're mainly trying to just up our chances. Over in Hagrave, as you see, we've managed to maintain this army because it was besieging. If she wasn't encircling, then we would have lost her to Malekith, who now owns Hagrave, but we're going to get it back via Confederation. Malekith will take between 16 to somewhere like 20, 22, 24 gold at very, very most Confederate. At the moment, we've got 16,000. We can get a little bit more by attacking Kragoth's Deep. Now, while the first 2 fights are not compulsory, this one is a 100% compulsory to do. We'll start on the line here. We're going to pull back here and hide our archers inside the trees there and use these cold ones to essentially harass half of the army so we can take them apart piecemeal. We're going to fire some fireballs with our sorceress to lure them towards her, and hopefully we can lure the other half towards the cold ones to buy us enough time to take the army apart. So you want to launch fireballs and retreat back at the same time. Make sure you avoid the arrow fire. And with your Dino Riders, you can hold shift and then click to give multiple waypoints, which is a great way of stringing them along just a little bit longer. Okay, cool. Now that these guys are separated, send your cold ones towards the isolated archers. Sack the city because we need as much money as possible. Our coffers have been inflated a little bit more, and with her working her way towards the burning head. And now we've got ourselves a good balance of power, a good amount of money. Let's deal with Nagarond. So if you have a look here, if we go to join Confederation, offer him all our gold, he won't even look at us yet, right? Because he has no threats, so we need to create a threat. We're going to declare war on Mung. He's a military ally, so he will follow us into this. So what have we done so far with Nagarond? Well, we joined this war with Clan Septic, and we declared war on the Court of Liberas, turn 1, to build those relations. We've now put a threat near him by the Broken Chains, as well as he's also got a threat on this flank now with Mung, and let's see how this goes. Join Confederation, so first do this. I just put lots of zeros at the end to max out your treasury. It's still low, that's fine. If that does work, then just skip to the next step. If that fails, we're going to declare war on the Man-Blight tribe for a bit of extra pressure. Pull them into that. Okay, and then we try this again. Join Confederation. Max your gold. Good, we're looking for that for moderate. So if it does moderate, then the chances are he's now got enough heat on him to take it. Start with 14,000. Nope. There we go, 15,000 worked. Cool. Alright, and this also gives us, more importantly, some extra funds to spend, which will really, really help us out. If that fails, you have one more option left after that, and that's to declare war on Grond, at which point you can do that, but that might be a bit too much heat for you to face this early in the game. But you'll see what we're going to do. We're going to peace out with Clan Septic in the next couple of turns, and then we can just focus on Mung, and this will be really, really sustainable and easy for you, even if you're not a super advanced Dark Elf player. Alright, now just try to fix up the mess that we've got ourselves into, and this is why having some extra treasury up your sleeve is so important. So first, diplomatically, now these guys, they don't really like Malekith to start off with, but at this point they will nearly always accept a non-aggression pact. There you go. Now if you're super lucky, they'll accept trade. No, not in that case there, but they are underdogs, so they will eventually confederate with us. This does mean you have to try to get confederation quickly, because otherwise Marathi will get it. So there is that pressure, and then you'll find Marathi is significantly harder to confederate. So this does contrive your run. Maybe don't get underdog for that, but we're going all out for this particular run. So once you've got that non-aggression pact, just double check Hagenet. So we still have our non-aggression pact with her, so that should hold, so you don't have to worry about her. Now up here we have Malekith. Bring him down into your own territory. Normally he'll be in your own territory here. Bring him in and get him to hire 3 Dark Shards. He's got an extra Lord here. I haven't seen that before. Get rid of that. And you'll have this Mage here. Always has no movement left. That's completely fine. Let's go back down to the Dragon Isles. So this is the most important part here, is we need to make Black Ark contain what will be Malus's final army. Okay? So we have our Doomstack, we have Malus, we have the Admiral. So we're going to operate at a loss for a while, okay? So the thing is, when you lose, run out of money, people start deserting, but you lose the same amount whether you're negative 1 gold or 1,000 or 100,000 gold, right? So this is how we're going to divvy up our army, operating at a loss to capture this in record time. By the way, credit to Legend of Total War, got this idea a few, and also this whole strategy at large was popularized by Mercy the Mad. I've integrated parts of theirs as well as elements of my own testing to make this the run that it is. So credit to those guys. Let's right click here, and we're going to give Malus Darkblade all of the Cold One units. Alright, so all the Cold Ones, all the Chariot units. So the priority is that every unit we want to keep goes to the Sorceress. Okay, so all the basic units, we don't want Corsairs, and we don't really care about anything else. So now you've got those units with your Sorceress. Now pass them to the Admiral and just give the whole lot to the Admiral. Double check you're happy with everything. You know what, for good measure, let's throw these Cardivus to Malus Darkblade to ensure he has an easy time auto-resolving. There we go, and now disband this Sorceress. If you have any leftover money, let's repair the main building here in the Dragon Isles. It'll help assist with growth. Don't worry about repairing the buildings in the Black Flood, but if you have extra money, why not get some more units for the Sorceress? Because there's a chance... Okay, good. So there's a bit of a chance that Clark-Huron will declare war on these guys, and that'll help deplete them. As you can see, they've got no balance of power left, meaning we might be able to jump in, sweep in, and take that territory, which would be really, really nice. If not, just keep this Sorceress stationed here, and she's just there to guard it. We'll come back for this later, right? We're not trying to rush and overextend. You could really hurt yourself here, so just wait. Make sure you have your Dreadlord in Dreaded Expansion, and that'll increase the replenishment for Malus Darkblade's army. And that's it, end turn. And over the end turn, we got attacked by this Sorceress. You know, I'm going to actually fight that on the battlefield, because we can get 2 fights out of that and get a bit more cash. So, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, this rebellion was ill-advised, wasn't it? Oh, this is really unfortunate. So we have the chance of having our Sorceress rebel, or we could get the Public Order faction-wide. That's going to contrive this run and make it less relatable. Choose the loyalty. Hopefully don't get a revolt. Turn 3, even though you're in the red, you'll get 3,000 gold for just simply completing the chapter objective, so this gives you some money to spend. Now, if you were too poor to hire Dark Shards last turn, that's okay, because you'll get a chance here. So either way, this turn you want to move Malekith up here, towards the edge of the territory here, about there. near those trees in between there should do. Basically be the army we go north with and attack Mung. Now you'll have this sorceress here. You could try some other tricksy stuff, but instead we're just going to right click here and search the ruins. Even if there's an army there, this has 100% chance of success, so do it. You also don't pay for it if there's Skaven there. So, oh my god, there's Skaven there. You just got a free level. So, really great move. Great thing to do. So that's pretty much it for the north and in this particular turn. Now, have a look here. Check their balance of power. It's really bad. So let's move up here in ambush stance. 27% there and assume ambush stance. Next turn, we could get in there and we could take it. The chances are they will have an army there. If that does happen, just stay situated here and try to pin the public order down. And then when we're ready, we'll run them over to Haggrave to deal with the revolts, because while you're suffering attrition, your garrisons are also walking away and fleeing because they're not being paid. So this is the huge risk you run here, is by running a deficit, you don't have a garrison at the capital to defend against the revolt. So we do need to fix this sooner than later. Down in the Dragon Isles, of course, Root Marcher and get Dreaded Slaver first to increase your captives. So the way you spend your 3,000 gold is like this. Get 2 Dark Shards. Don't get the third because otherwise you won't be able to afford on your Admiral. You won't be able to afford the Black Arc upgrade. So Black Arc upgrade and 2 Dark Shards of Malekith. That is always how you spend your turn 3 Mullah. Now we're going to go, you don't have to go Force March here. We've selected Admiral. Just right click on Dread Rock. He's got more than enough movement to get there in 2 turns. So there we go. Make sure you switch him back into Dreaded Expansion. If you don't, he won't build the upgrade. Make sure, see, paused, Dreaded Expansion, there we go. Doesn't use up any more movement. Now for Malus Darkblade, move towards the water and we'll Force March to get him that much closer. Press backspace so we don't have any movement queued. And if you have any more money, just repair a building, because you're going to lose it all over the end turn anyway. And that's it, end turn. Turn number 4, let's get Malus Darkblade and just Force March him pretty much the Shattered Stone Isle there. So just right click, Force March him. Next turn he'll have enough movement to take that. This turn we do have enough movement with our Admiral to take Dread Rock. You can just auto resolve that with your monster stack, easy done. And we will loot and occupy to get the most slaves we can. Now at this point, I should have done this a turn earlier. We want the Dragon Isles to be our primary slaving settlement. I wouldn't worry about turning off the tap too much or too early with these ones, but we do want to stop the Black Flood. And that's it for the Dragon Isles. Heading up to Nagarond. Malekith is now in movement range, so even if there's an army there, attack the settlement and just besiege it. Encircle and get your mage. Put her inside Malekith's army, and now she will get the experience. And unfortunate for Skaven, their units perform very poorly in auto-resolve. Just auto-resolve this one. And this time, instead of looting and occupying, we're just going to occupy it, right? We would need to buy ourselves some time so we don't have this revolt while we've got no garrison. So we need to just elongate as long as we can until that revolts and get Malekith back there to fend off the revolt. Of course, upgrade movement first on Malekith, and we can now get Burning Head, which will make killing rats absolute breeze. So for your financial priorities for turn 4, they go as follows. First, get 3 Dark Shards into Malekith's army because we want to hunt down Mung as soon as possible, and you'll need a full stack to do that. So 3 Dark Shards in his army. Now, if you can afford the upgrade at Nagarond, excellent, take that. If you can't afford that, or you still have money left over somehow, fix the buildings, the port and the main building at your capital. And then the next priority is getting a barracks up to tier 2 on your Black Arc so you can get Dark Shards, but that's less of a priority for now. Currently, you've got some hostile orcs here. We're trying to win these guys over, and we've got 2 wars here. Mung can be a real pain in the tail, so what we'll do is give ourselves some breathing room. We are going to, now that we've taken off a settlement, peace out with these rats. Take what you can get, but again, don't sign anything. So we want 10 turns of peace. After 10 turns, you can do what you want with them, and we're going to. This will ruin your reputation temporarily, but trust me, it's worth it. If you go up here to attack Mung, they will just retake your settlements, and you don't have the stability to do it. So I recommend this. Your reputation will come back, and it's already not that crash hot anyway, so don't worry about it. I think that this is the best way to go, and it's guaranteed. So she's going to defect next turn because she has 0 loyalty, so unfortunately taking that dilemma the way we did is going to bite us in the ass here, but either way she's going to revolt and probably take that. So we have nothing else to lose by charging into battle bravely and preferably getting her killed. So, or even better, if we could take this settlement and get her killed, but I really doubt that. Using Malus Darkblade, and the way we'll do it is don't try to get 2 fights out of it. I know you want the experience, go straight for the settlement and we're going to auto-resolve it. Yeah, you'll lose a ton of your units by doing this, but that's fine because we're going to disband this army as soon as this fight is done. Cool, and loot and occupy. Okay, so now disband Malus Darkblade's army. Now, before we deal with our the upkeep of our units, let's get this sorceress. You don't have much wiggle room here, okay? So just right click on the settlement, don't try to move her manually, otherwise you'll run out of space. So press R, good. You can see there's no other armies around here, and that'll give her another point of experience. Keep on making Burning Head cheaper. Now normally at this point I would send Malekith towards the capital and then nearly at the capital, because around here he might have a revolt, right? So you need to keep your eye on this. So when you're 2 to 3 turns out from a revolt, send Malekith back here and calculate that many turns. So we've got 7 turns. So how far can we get in 7 turns? We can get up to 1, 2, take that, 3, 4, destroy that, and then we could probably get back close to about 7 turns. But we're also going to get the cash flow back in the positive while we're here. So first thing is we're going to move up in ambush stance. Double check Mung, make sure they don't look too intimidating with the amount of armies they have. I'd say we could safely beat that, and things are finally looking a bit better. Now the big concern we have is these guys are probably going to storm us quite shortly. Now there's a chance someone might raise these guys and you just walk over and take it later. There's also a chance that they might build up, so that's why we don't get too attached to this. So this is the worst case scenario that we're dealing with here, and that is that we don't have an army and they're going to take this. And you know what? Let them. If they're going to take it, take it. We have had Grave here, and making sure this doesn't revolt and lose its population to the revolt is the most important thing. So just choose your priorities. Nagarond, Hagrave, and the Dragon Isles. Those are our pillars of this particular campaign. Priorities are raise and destroy Mung. Don't take those, raise those, and on the way back down, we can complete our province of Clan Septic. Okay? If we can get the garrison back to full replenishment, the garrison alone will be able to push away the first couple of revolts. So that's pretty much what we're banking on here. Now, normally you'll probably have a revolt around here. Remember we had that modifier which gave us... No, we still do have that revolt. It's also time to review the army here. How good does it actually need to be? So how many dragons do we need? We only need 1, let's be honest. That's helped a lot. We only need 1 Hydra. And I don't think we really need any of these. Now, because I have the money to do so, I am going to hire a sorceress here because she'll be able to venture out and attack the revolt. So this will kill most of our cash flow, but that's alright. Here we are over the end turn, and also the fact that you hire the sorceress here, I just always find it increases the chance of them attacking. Cool, and what will... Oh, there we go, good, good. So give her Burning Head, outstanding, and we do want Root Marcher. So with her, you'll notice in here, because we're in the jungles, there's a very, very high ambush success chance. So just simply stand in here where you'll block them, hop an ambush stance, and they'll hopefully come in, and we can get some more experience on her as well before we finish them off. It'll probably wipe them next time. We'll just try to do it one more turn just to get her a bit more established. Sycophantic Schemer, essential skill, then just focus on melee defense. Alright, so priority is back up in Nagaroth. You'll find, well, you might find 1 or more of their armies, so double check Mung's balance of power. So they've got 2 armies, they've got 2 more than decent sized armies here. There, so we're making sure that they don't have an army here to take this back the moment we take it. So we can see that it's safe. Let's take Malekith, first encircle the city, and then get our Fire Mage to rejoin, and we'll fight this manually. As they come up, remember, stretch up your line holders. Once they're broken, change target. Sack it and then occupy it. We do not care about the public order here, and just good old fashioned occupy, and all we're doing this is for the replenishment. Next turn, we will abandon it, or once we're out of this territory, we have no plans on holding on to it. Now this is what we're allowed to do because of our high public order. If we had worse public order than this, we would have to march ourselves back. The ways of dealing with this is to decide to disband this army and eventually lose this territory to get yourself back in the green. to allow your garrisons to replenish. Now, you'll probably have a revolt next turn, so if you do have this army here, march it back to Haggrave to defeat the revolt, and then you can disband it afterwards. As for Naggarot itself, you typically actually want Malekith to be coming back here, deal with the revolt, and then follow this up. So this might happen a couple turns later for you, but the end result and the way you deal with this is the exact same. Also around here, sometimes Haganeth will decide to terminate the non-aggression pact. If she does, just offer it right back to her. She's just had a bad day at work. She doesn't mean it. She'll come back to you. It'll all be cool. Also, upgrading the Dragon Fang mount will allow you to increase this amazing building here, which gives you a ton of money. So you do have those options. For now, let's just go with the capital. And just like magic, we managed to get the ambush. Have a look at their balance of power. Okay, so they're doing okay. Now let's move ourselves up here. Right, we'll use our mage just to step out a little bit. Make sure she can always get back, right? So we're watching that. So Malekith has a 40% chance of holding this ambush. That's okay. But if they do attack, he can retreat back. So if you're before this line, you should be able to retreat back without obviously getting run down, which is the worst thing that could happen to us. So return the caster to the army, and we should be able to, worst case, even be able to face off against both of these guys. Have a look at your garrisons, see if they're getting any closer to full health. They are, so that's good. I might actually just abandon this now so I don't forget. There we go. Now the reason why we can be confident is now it's turn 7, we can get Sacrifice to Cain, giving us Dark Conduit. Now immediately this is going to give us so much power in the battlefield. Now if you can afford it, get yourself some torture posts. So if you got the money, you either want to get the Horde Mustering to get your master up here to support Malekith, or you want to get some torture posts because this will unlock the Sacrifice to Mathland, giving us a second Black Arc. Things become easy once we have a second Black Arc that can protect these two capitals where the revolts will spawn from. Now that we have a caster here with Burning Head, also an ambush stance with 80% chance, I'm really not too concerned about this. So now we're going to play a bit of diplomacy here and become friends with Snikch. And how do we do that? Well, pretty easy. We're going to use our Black Arc to sack the Shattered Cove. There's not much these guys will be able to do. Snikch will destroy them in no time at all. So not a threat, but Snikch absolutely can be. So we need to make enemies in common. And by doing that, we can get some extra cash and endear ourselves to Snikch. So this is just a one-time smash and grab. Could probably smash it a couple times. And so we were going to sack Shattered Cove, but they've decided to throw an army there. Maybe they saw us coming and they don't trust us. Can't blame them. That means that's obviously a terrible idea to attack that now. So we're going to sit halfway between, kind of in a limbo between these two places. We'll keep her in ambush stance because she's kind of paying her way by at least leveling up, as well as taking out any revolts that come in there thanks to this 80% jungle ambush chance. So going over to Malekith, let's see what we have to deal with. So first, we're going to walk out with our sorceress. So we've got two armies there. Two armies, not a problem. Move towards the edge of the territory. Get our sorceress to join, and we're going to attack the weaker army first, right? We want these reinforcements to come in staggered, give us the most chance we can to react to it. So let's attack the smaller army. So this is the worst way it can go down. You can often separate these armies into two or find them individually, or even one might come across to retake that city that you just took. That's the lottery. If you get that one, then you can get an easy ambush victory. This is the worst case. Let's do it. See if we can get a early Burning Head on them before they're actually arranged into formation and do some serious damage. Alright, so once we're ready, focus down there, Lord. Sorceress needs to get up here to get a pretty damn good Burning Head if we can. Good, that's one Lord down. Alright, we did that without losing anyone, and in this case we're going to first sack, and then we'll occupy just for some temporary healing. For now we'll get the marble resource, it'll reduce construction and also build ourselves a tier 2 barracks so we can hire a master from this particular area. Let's upgrade Dragon Fang Mount. You know what, I'm going to do it. I'll do the quest battle now, and then we'll heal up inside the settlement and then abandon it the subsequent turn. Let's get into it. We've got a ton of money from doing that quest battle, so let's live it up. Let's get some slave pens there and upgrade our secondary building there to get a bit more money coming in. We don't want to upgrade that because it's too risky, but I think we're at this point now where we could safely upgrade this. And of course, upgrade your Black Arc, and we'll get this up to level 2 as well, so we can get a few more Dark Shard Archers. Having a look at the income here, next turn we will manage to get 2,500 in the bank, which is what it takes to colonize new territory. With that in mind, we're going to move up and we'll take this territory here. I think we'll be alright to hold it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but we'll give it a go. And last up, let's bring Crone Helbron into the fold. Nice, and let's Confederate for, what can we get, say... There we go, excellent. Alright, this is our territory at turn 20, looking pretty good. But let's see, have we actually inherited problems? It's not all about a big map painty picture, it's about how we can make the situation work towards us. Well, we've got these guys who will confederate. They've got 3 excellent territories there. So that's next to the Confederation block. Then from there, we can get Rakath. Let's take this master and march him over to Rakath and discover him just in case he's in trouble. Also make sure you close off especially the Road of Skulls and along here. You don't want these to revolt because you don't have coastal capitals to defend with Black Arcs. We'll be taking back and completing the Iron Mountains finally from those damn rats, and of course fighting our way this way. So highly eventful. We're going to have some curveballs, no doubt, but yeah, that's basically it. So make sure you tune in to Friday's stream. We are going to go through this and probably try to play through to turn 50 at least, and just see how good we can make this. Hopefully we'll get the entire gang confederated by then. This is a very non-role-playing campaign, I must stress that a lot. Story-wise, this makes no sense, and it is stupid. I think it is actually probably overall better just to take the money and expand down south. It's a more unique campaign and less of a headache, but I thought, why not? This is as silly as Malus will probably ever be, and Warhammer 3 is here. Let's just go nuts one more time. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have found this useful, please like, share, subscribe. Feel free to ask any questions. I answer everything. And feel free to join the Discord to discuss strategy and even tell us how we're doing it wrong. This is Elven Plot Armor, and I will see you next time. Cheers.